Hello everyone. So today I'm back again with a topic that I really hesitate to talk about because I don't think it's safe to talk about, but I don't have anything else to talk about. So it was about my experience taking Salvia. It is one of the psychedelic substance that was one of the strongest one out that exists out there. So so please take so please listen to me with cautions. Don't ever take any psychedelics without 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 consulting someone or researching about them. Or just don't take anything psychedelics, especially if it's illegal in your country. But salvia is different. It is mostly legal in other countries. The only problem is it is not popular because the effect that it could give a person, the effect the, the effect is very unpleasant oftentimes. So maybe that's part of the reason why it is legal, because people don't take it for fun. So yeah, people usually use this for spiritual purposes, or I don't know, maybe just experiments. And I'm and since I'm a very curious person about human minds, about the different states of mind, I dare myself to try, even though I completely, I had absolutely no experience in psychedelics whatsoever. And that's, I think, was pretty crazy of me. But I was in the state of depression, and I know from researching that you shouldn't take salvia when you are depressed. But I was so depressed that I was thinking that I need something else to 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 change my mind, I think. So I decided to try something that could potentially change the way I see things. And this is not just, I didn't take this only in the therapeutic sense, but it's more like in philosophical sense, because I have always been interested in how our mind works, how our how other people how other people's minds work, and how different states of mind came to be. So yeah, it is just it, it was just natural for me to take salvia, because first, it is legal in my country, and second, I need to find out what's actually happening as we live with this consciousness. Why do we have consciousness? So big question. I know. But the real question is, nah, there is no real question. What I'm trying to say is, I took Salvia by myself, alone, without a sitter, which I know, I knew was very problematic, but I'm but the town that I'm in, I have no friends, and since I moved here, I've had no friends at all in this town. So I honestly didn't have any choices besides taking it by myself. And I had no prior experiences to psychedelics. So this was my first ever experience on psychedelics. I know, it was crazy. But the story goes like this. So it was night, and I prepared everything. I was in the comfort of my own room. I was on the floor. I made sure that nothing came in my way. So so by then I took a I inhale the salvia smoke. Yeah, I do by smoking. And then I think my biggest mistake was to lie down lie down right away. That was my biggest mistake, I think, because right after I puff puff out my right after I puff out the smoke from my lungs, I felt the effects immediately, and immediately I felt like I was becoming one with the floor, and it was a really strange feeling. It felt like, and yes, the testimonies are right. They're true because when you take this substance, you won't feel you won't be aware being of actually have has been taking the substance. You would you would just experience things without being aware of what you're experiencing. So in my experience, I became one with the floor, and right after that, I felt I felt very, very confused because I had no body. I had nothing in that I could move. Nothing at all. So I felt like as if I was dead. I was dead, but I wasn't actually dead. Actually dead, dead, dead. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Yeah, I'm such a bad I'm such a bad storyteller, but I experienced like becoming one the with the with the dead objects surrounding me, and it was the most scary, the scariest thing that I ever felt. I felt as if I was the walls, as if I was the walls, and and I didn't have I didn't have limbs, I didn't have torso, I didn't have eyes even, but I could see myself without having an eye. It was crazy. So it was crazy. And the walls suddenly became, I don't know how it became rainbow light, but it became rainbow, and it was waving. It was waving, and the backgrounds, and there was a choir in the background singing something I didn't I didn't I didn't recognize, and it was really, really strange. It was really, really outwardly, because because I became one with them, but there was no me, but there was me, because I was screaming without anybody that could hear. I felt like time was passing so long, and it felt like I had been going through life, through ages, and as a dead object, it was really, really frustrating because you are a dead object. You are a dead object that is experiencing time so long, and and it was really frustrating, and it felt so hopeless. It felt so hopeless living inside dead objects. It would probably be much better if the objects are like trees or something that was actually alive, but I was like becoming the table, the racks, the walls. It was really traumatizing because I couldn't move at all. I thought I was gonna be on the floor forever for someone else to step on, and it was really frustrating. Yeah, and the experience wouldn't come to an end. But but the sounds surrounding me was were were very they didn't make any sense. Like I couldn't make sense out of it. I thought they were the screams of my parents or my or my siblings, and I couldn't be sure about it. But in the background, but everything was still waving in the background in rainbow colors, and it was waving, but it also didn't wave. It was also still. So I was pretty confused at the time. Yeah, it felt like reality didn't make any sense. And the voices in the background, they sang, they sang and sang until it felt like angels, like demonic angels singing in the background. And I felt like I was being called upon, but I couldn't I couldn't approach anyone or anything. I didn't have any goal. I didn't see a tunnel, so I was just there, being a wall. It was really really weird. So actually, I was able to hear the the prayers, the sound of prayers from the mosque, and but it was like chanting, like weird chanting. Yeah, it was like another voice on top of the singing voice, on top of the singing voices. So they were like fighting with each other, with each other. Yeah. And so I didn't remember how, but but I was finally able to to I was really trying to open up my eyes. So in so after a while, I thought instead of trying to open my eyes, maybe I should try to close it. But I was really really afraid that I wouldn't be able to open my eyes again, even though I didn't have any eyes at all. So I didn't have any eyes, but I tried to close my eyes. So with my inner eyelids that were closing, when they were closed, it didn't work because I could still see everything. But at the moment I tried to open them again, there was the moment I came back to reality, right at the moment, right at that moment, and 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 it felt really weird because you were just from the other dimension, and you went straight away to this dimension, and it felt like I was losing my mind, but I was rushing to wake my body. I was rushing to wake it, to get up, and and I was really confused at the time, even after I woke up, because I was so afraid that maybe my reality had been deconstructed, that that my reality was actually the dream. I felt like I could be I felt like my reality could be destroyed again. So I wasn't sure if I was in reality, or everything would never be the same. And I was rushing to call my friends, but my friends didn't answer because it was very late in the it was very early in the morning. It was early in the morning, like around 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. And so I went to my parents, and I didn't know what to do anymore. So I went to my parents, and I hugged my mom. I told her about the experience, but I didn't tell her about the Salvia. She thought it was just my dream or something. Maybe she thought I was being imaginative because I watched too much movies. Maybe she thought, I don't know. But I was still afraid that day, that my reality had come to an end. I'm sorry, I think this story is really boring. But that was my experience anyway. So that was my experience, and and there was it. There's nothing else I could tell about. That was it. And tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, everything slowly came back to normal. But after taking that Salvia, that first experience on Salvia, I thought to myself that I would never ever take it for the second time. Although right now I'm not sure, maybe I would, maybe I will, but I'm not sure if I can stand it. Maybe if I ever take it again, I would have a sitter by my side. not by myself. It was too intense, and I need to stop. I need to stop lying down. I need to stop staring at the walls. I need to watch something maybe, or be in the nature or something. Maybe the setting was just horrible. So yeah, that was my experience anyway. Did I answer my question? I don't really think so. If anything, I came back with more questions and more fear about be, prior to prior to that moment, prior to that event. I was never I was never afraid of death. I was always felt like death could be just nothing and I couldn't care less. But but after taking Salvia, it gave me a new fear, and that is the new fear of death, which was really unbelievable because 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 not being afraid of death was something that I was like the big part of me back then. But after taking Salvia, I was afraid that I'm afraid now that maybe after I die, I might become some dead objects forever and ever, or maybe I will just be stuck in this body forever and ever. I'm and now I understand what it feels like to be stuck in that situation. So I will I'm really afraid to face death, and I wish to prolong my life, although someday I will still die. And I'm still curious about what is really after death. Although now I have a although now I have a vision that maybe something that maybe the truth or the reality is something very abstract, very random, and it doesn't have to make sense. It could be literally anything. It could be the most insensible thing you've ever heard or you ever felt. Could be anything. Life could be anything. Yeah. So that's my experience anyway. I don't know how other people I don't know how other people take their experience from Salvi, but I surely I will surely try to not take them ever again. Oh, I sometimes wonder why my eyebrow is not symmetrical, but I'm gonna stop this video right now. So yeah, see you next time.